Welcome back to Happily Booked, our podcast, our bookcast, where two kindred spirits like to read books together. We are your hostesses, as always, Brooke and
Beth.
Oh my gosh, I know, it's so dumb. It's always so dumb. I don't have the headphones plugged in, which obviously we haven't really been using our headphones to listen.
Right.
But when the music's playing, normally the volume's so loud in the headset that I can hear it, and it's a good cue. Gives me a good cue for when I need to start speaking.
Right.
But they're not plugged in, so I couldn't hear it at all. So I was just staring at the screen, and I was like, "Does that look like it's fading away?" I think maybe. I realized that. I started laughing. Yeah, that's all. It's just. If you know us, you know that we laugh at some silly stuff that a lot of people probably wouldn't find as funny as we do. But, so yeah.
It's okay. We find it more funny than they do.
Or
funnier.
We're hilarious. We have a great sense of humor. Combined, we're unstoppable. Okay. So Becky has a quote. You know the quote thing? But, I mean, I guess you all don't really know that we haven't been remembering to do that.
Well, I never have a quote, so this is
That is true. So, congratulations. Go for it.
Okay. Okay,
Same.
It's going to be a long quote.
Okay.
June 5th.
That's my sister's birthday. Sorry.
It is. The case of Renfield grows more interesting the more I get to understand the man. He has certain qualities very largely developed: selfishness, secrecy, and purpose. I wish I could get at what is the object of the latter. He seems to have some settled scheme of his own, but what it is, I do not know. His redeeming quality is a love of animals, though. Indeed, he has such curious turns in it that I sometimes imagine he is only abnormally cruel. His pets are of odd sorts. Just now, his hobby is catching flies. He has at present such a quantity that I have had myself to expostulate. To my astonishment, he did not break out into a fury, as I expected, but took the matter in simple seriousness. He thought for a moment, and then said, "May I have 3 days? I shall clear them away." "Of course," I said, "that would do. I must watch him." 18th of June. He has turned his mind now to spiders, and has got several very big fellows in a box. He keeps feeding them his flies, and the number of the latter is becoming sensibly diminished, although he has used half his food in attracting more flies from outside to his room. 1st of July. His spiders are now becoming as great a nuisance as his flies, and today I told him that he must get rid of them. He looked very sad at this, so I said that he must some of them, at all events. He cheerfully acquiesced in this, and I gave him the same time as before for reduction. He disgusted me much while with him, for when a horrid blowfly bloated with some carrion food buzzed into the room, he caught it, held it exultantly for a few moments between his finger and thumb, and before I knew what he was going to do, put it in his mouth and ate it.
Oh my gosh.
I scolded him for it, but he argued quietly that it was very good and very wholesome, that it was life, strong life, and gave life to him. This gave me an idea, or the rudiment of one. I must watch how he gets rid of his spiders. You don't want to know how he gets rid of the spiders.
If he eats them, I'm clocking out.
So,
He said he's got a few big fellas in the box, and I said, "Nope, I'm done. Check me out of school. I'm gone."
Okay, I know you know what that's from. Because I already told
Dracula.
you. It's from Dracula.
Okay. I know it's a classic, but I've never read it, so that gave me a good idea of how it reads. So I like that. Thank you very much. Oh, the spiders. Did you gag when he ate the fly?
Yeah, that was disgusting.
Yeah.
It gets worse. I won't tell you.
Yeah.
For those of you who haven't read it, you should.
What I constantly go back to is when I read, I think it's called Be Not Far From Me. I don't remember the author's name, but I'll put it in the show notes. But I read that, and it was about a girl who got lost in, the Appalachian forest.
Yes.
And she realized that there was a bump on her head, and so she went to get it. She realized it was a tick. Oh God, I'm gonna gag. I can't.
I remember that.
And she compared it to a bean. And she ate it. I said
You
no.
should probably put a trigger warning on that.
No amount of insanity could ever make me. That is disgusting.
Oh, I'd rather die of starvation.
I would just rather eat anything else. Bark. I will eat some bark. A dandelion. Hello.
Funny.
Anyway, talking about plants that you eat from outside. I harvested some things from my garden for the first time today.
Yay.
And that was some green beans. So I hope I did good. I hope I did it right. I think I did okay.
They look beautiful.
There's still a lot hanging out there, but they're too small, not ripe enough yet or whatever.
Yeah.
So I got a good amount. I think I'll be able to fill up at least 3 jars. Hopefully a little more. I don't know. So, and I'm gonna can them tomorrow. I also have some corn that somebody that Austin works with just gave him, just corn. So it's in the fridge. So I'm gonna go ahead and can that too because I don't know what else I would do with it. And our watermelon is. I was out there talking to my plants.
It's okay, I talk to mine.
As you do. And I said,
if you don't, what are you doing?
I said, if I don't keep moving y'all around, you're gonna take over the country. There was some that grew outside of the fence, and there's two little melons outside of the fence. So we moved them back in.
Good,
but
I probably would have gotten eaten.
Yeah. So there's some cucumbers that are.
You're doing better with your garden than I am mine.
Big chunky things out there. There's only a couple, but I didn't realize they got that thick.
Yeah, they can. My cucumbers, they only got like this big around, but they were fat.
Yeah, that's big. As we mentioned before we started recording, I know 0 things.
Well, I'm used to the cucumbers being long.
Right, I always see long cucumbers.
Mine weren't.
Like when I get them from the store to give to the goats, they're on the thinner side and they're long.
Yeah.
And mine are like watermelon, basically. My squash are starting to grow, but they're not doing as well as I was.
I can't wait to show you the pictures of my squash after I work in the garden.
Oh my gosh, I get so excited. One of them's growing a little bit. They're not big by any means, and my potatoes, I think after a few more weeks, they might be ready. And a little bit longer on the onions, I think. We have 5 tomato plants.
Nice.
One actually might be dead, so we might have 4. So there's one pepper plant out there, one hot pepper plant that has a pepper on it.
Nice.
Don't think it's ripe yet, but there's one pepper out there. And the corn's actually corned. I don't know if you can see from where you parked. I don't know where you parked, but
have the saddest little corn. It looks better than any corn I've ever planted, but it's still smaller than I thought it would be at this point.
we planted a lot, and not a lot actually took well to the ground. So it's kind of oddly spaced out there.
Yeah.
But
I gotta go get some more hay today.
Yeah. There is a small little corn stalk down that way in the road that we drive on.
It's funny.
And there's a watermelon plant outside of the fence that just, showed up. I guess a bird dropped a seed or something.
My best looking squash is squash that I didn't plant.
Yeah.
It reseeded, I guess, from 4 years ago. And I have 2 squash that are humongous. And they have grown into where when I cleaned out the chicken coop and I left it in front of the coop on the outside, I guess it fertilized 2 seeds. Massive.
I love that.
The leaves are this big.
I get so excited.
They're not even in the garden.
Yeah. I think I need to ask Austin and what he thinks, and when he gets back from work, he went to the grocery store. When he gets home from work, there might be a tomato plant out there with the goats.
Oh.
And if we
they pooped out a tomato seed and it planted
maybe
itself?
well, so it's in the same area that there used to be that random tomato plant, the little cherry tomatoes or whatever, that we just found one day. So I don't know if it's from that, because I haven't really given them tomatoes.
Okay.
But yeah, could also just be anything else. So anyway, I just got excited about the green beans, so I wanted to say that. So yeah, welcome back. You have a haul?
Not really. I mean, I got an alignment last week and some new tires.
That's a good haul right there.
That's
Let me
what
tell
we
you.
didn't record last week because
Yeah.
I was there all day.
Yeah. I can't stand. I know. I immediately like got heated when you were telling me
Yeah, I could tell.
what you were doing. I was like, I hate going to mechanic shops. I mean, like, people have to have mechanics.
Yes.
There has to be mechanic shops, but like, I don't trust like almost any of them.
Yeah. And I've been injured for 3 weeks, so sitting in
Yeah.
the mechanic's office without
I
a
bet that
way
was
to heat or ice anything.
Pleasant.
Painful.
Yeah. How's your carpal tunnel? Have you been able to crochet anything?
No.
Oh.
My shoulder and elbow hurt so bad, and my finger is numb. It's not as numb as it was. So when I went to the chiropractor, not last week, but week before last, on Thursday, he did an adjustment just like normal. But when he did the adjustment, immediately my shoulder felt like it was on fire. And the pain went down my arm into my elbow, and that's when the numbness started in my finger.
Right.
And so I didn't tell him that it felt like my shoulder was on fire when it happened.
Yeah.
But when I went back to him on Monday, I mentioned to him that I had numbness in my finger since the last adjustment, and that my elbow and shoulder were hurting. That's when he said to start doing ice back here as well as heat, because it sounded like to him that as the muscles were healing, they were putting pressure on the nerve that runs through my shoulder, and that's why the elbow was in pain. And I feel like that's probably affecting the carpal tunnel, which is why my finger.
Yeah.
But that could also have to do with the nerve. So I've been doing that, and I'm getting better a little bit every day, but it's like not enough. And I know they're getting mad at me at work about not being able to lift stuff. One in particular, I'll tell you about it later.
Yeah.
Off the air, but she's mad at me. I'm like, well, I have a doctor's note, and
I'm injured.
I can't help that I'm not getting better. And so I actually had a terrible time trying to sleep last night.
Yeah.
Because the pain was just so bad. And I've been trying not to take pain medicine if I'm not at work or whatever, because I want to know how the pain actually is.
Right.
Because, when you take pain medicine, you feel like you could almost do anything. And but I had to take some this morning. I hurt so bad. And so I'm going back on Friday, and it's upsetting me because I'm spending so much money on the doctor too, because the chiropractor's not covered by my insurance.
Yeah.
So, but also I am going to go to an acupuncturist.
Well, that might help.
Yeah.
I've never been, but I've thought about it.
I went one time for my carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
Years ago, and for like over a year, just over a year, I didn't have any pain for my carpal tunnel. So I'm hoping that they can help with the residual pain that I'm having in my shoulder and elbow.
Yeah.
But also with the carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
So I accidentally made the appointment for Thursday, because normally I'm off by 11 on Thursday, but I asked off for Saturday to take the girls to something, so he scheduled me till 2. So now I have to try to change my appointment. But that's on me, because I didn't double check. I should have known, because he tries to make sure I get my hours.
Right.
Which is good. I appreciate that. I just wasn't thinking. So anyway, I emailed them because I tried to change it to Saturday and it wouldn't let me. So I asked them if they could change it, if there was a Saturday opening, or if I needed to change it for next week. So, but I am going to do the acupuncturist.
Well, I hope that helps.
I do too. I just kind of wanted to do it this week so that next week I wouldn't also still be hurting and have issues with the same person.
Well, God forbid that person becomes injured and can't lift stuff. So, whoever that person is. In other news, we have a book club pick.
Yay!
You and I, for our little book club, our little thing we do here, our shindig.
Oh yeah. Let's see if I have that.
It should be on Everand.
Okay, good.
I had checked before I even made that list to send you, so I hope it's still on Everand. But for everybody else, the book club book for Reading With Us is What You Are Looking For Is in the Library by Michiko Aoyama. I may have said her last name wrong, or his last name wrong. It is translated Japanese fiction, so I'm excited about that because I typically really enjoy it. or typically enjoy Japanese translated fiction. I was actually surprised that this is the one that won. I didn't expect for that one to win.
I love the title.
I know. I expected one of the Neil Gaimans to win, and it was cutting it close. I think Fragile Things was right underneath our winner by Neil Gaiman, Fragile Things. And then underneath that one, Trigger Warning by Neil Gaiman.
Trigger Warning was the other one that I kind of was leaning towards.
Yeah.
But I really liked the title.
Yeah.
Of what you were looking for in the library.
Right. It sounds like whimsical, almost.
Yeah. Sounds like something I really liked.
Yeah. And then coming in last was Bliss Montage by Ling Ma, which she's the author of Severance, which is a pandemic book I read a while back and really loved. Which I don't know. I didn't really expect that one to win. I don't know why. But I really did not expect what you are looking for in the library to win. So I'm happy about it. I'm surprised, but I'm happy about it. So since I said this on Instagram, I'm just trying to repeat myself. We're recording this episode today on the 23rd of June. You'll hear it on the 30th of June. And then, obviously...
So we can start reading July 1st.
Exactly. So, if you haven't already started reading it because you follow us on Instagram, you can start then on the 30th or whenever you really want to. Some you can start like I do half the time, is a couple days before this due. And you'll have until July 28th. And we will record that day, and it will come out the 4th of August.
Cool.
I hope I said that all correctly.
It sounded right.
In correlation with our Instagram post.
Looking at my calendar, but it sounded right.
I think that was correct, though. So you'll hear it the 30th. You can start reading it. Send in your recordings to our email on the 28th of July, and then it will be out on the 4th of August. Boom. Okay. Got that out of the way.
I got a notification in my email about some royalties hitting my account.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's like 5 cents.
But still, that's so cool.
So I looked it up to see someone in Germany bought my book. And I
that is so cool.
I'm still working on the audio recording of it. And for everyone who has an original copy with all of the
sorry,
grammatical errors.
It's the way you're saying it. It's not.
Once I get it redone with hopefully some artwork, all you have to do is send me a picture of your copy so that I know you actually have a copy, because I don't want to send out free copies to people who don't actually have the book.
Yeah.
But if you have
girls gotta make a living.
If you've spent money on a book that has the errors in it, and you send me a picture, and then later you can send me your address so I can send you a corrected copy.
Yeah.
An updated
How nice
copy.
of you.
I will do that for you, because I feel like you need a copy that's not full of errors.
How nice of you. That's a good idea. Okay. Hall. Okay. I actually do have some things on.
Yay!
I have a couple things on Kindle. And a physical book upstairs.
That you left upstairs.
That I left upstairs. But that's okay. So I'll start with Kindle since that's the easiest thing, because I have my phone right here. So on Kindle Unlimited, I downloaded a book, obviously, called, it just was on a whim, I don't remember what this really was, but it's called The Enigma Strain, a fast-paced action thriller, part of a series, I guess, called Harvey Bennett Thrillers. It's the first book by Nick Thacker. Nick Thacker. And it's actually the first book of 17 thrillers.
Oh, wow.
Which, that's a lot.
That is a lot. I thought the Wheel of Time series was
right. So, just to kind of read a little bit of the synopsis. An explosion rocks Yellowstone. A strange disease begins to spread. A supervolcano threatens to erupt, and none of it was an accident. A reclusive Yellowstone park ranger is forced into action, teaming up with a beautiful woman from the CDC. Naturally, a beautiful woman from the CDC. I see what you did there. Harvey Bennett isn't a trained killer, but he'll fight for what's right. And he'll do anything to take down the terrorists behind the attack. And I'll just leave it there. So, Yeah, park ranger, working with somebody with the CDC, the world's going crazy. It sounds good. Sounds entertaining to me. Then sorry, I had to chill. Then I purchased a book called Limetown, which is the prequel to a podcast, by a fictional narrative podcast by this book, though, is written by Cote Smith, or Cody Smith, Cote.
Yeah,
Cote.
There's an actress named Cote de Pablo.
And that's how she spells it, or he.
It's a she.
Okay. And Cody sort of seems like it would go either way. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I actually never finished the podcast Limetown, but I really did enjoy it when I was listening to it. And I thought, wow, a book? Even better. So the synopsis says, I'll just try to read a little bit of it. On a seemingly ordinary day, 17-year-old Leah Haddock hears news that will change her life forever. 300 men, women, and children living at a research facility in Limetown, Tennessee, have disappeared without a trace. Among the missing is Emily Haddock, Leah's uncle. Emil Haddock, Leah's uncle. What happened to the people of Limetown? It's all anyone can talk about, except Leah's parents, who refused to discuss what might have happened there. They refused even to discuss anything to do with Emil. So, I'm not going to read it anymore, but, big mystery. Everybody disappears. I thought that was very interesting when I started the podcast. Yeah. I was like, an empty town, where did everybody go? Then on Kindle Unlimited, I downloaded a short story. Yep, I think it's a sci-fi short story called Trapline by Timothy Zahn. I don't even think I read the synopsis at all. I think I just downloaded it. Because it was a short story. So this says, en route to far-off stars, Toby's consciousness has a crucial mission. Inhabit his clone long enough to repair a spaceship, then zip back to Earth. He's done it 1 million times, more or less. Okay, 12 times. It should only take a few hours, until he wakes up in jail, and he's not alone. His fellow prisoners, a group of alien soldiers, his prison, an ethereal boundary.
You probably should have pre-read this.
I should have. That will imprison their spirits until their bodies die. His jailers can't even see him, but their pet cat, Iguana Cat, it says in the parentheses, Iguana Cat with a question mark, can, and it's got a serious case of the zoomies. What's happening? With humanity's place in the odd and ever-widening universe, riding on Toby's choices, it's time to saddle up for the ghostly game of cat and mouse. Cadre, okay.
And
it wasn't group, it actually said cadre. I didn't know how to say it.
For those of us who love learning new words,
yeah,
it means a small group of people specially trained for a particular purpose or profession.
Okay. A special unit, if you will. Then, actually, before all that, I hauled a book, but I have read it since then, so I'm going to save it until...
Okay.
And then I guess I should tell you about the book that I have upstairs.
Yes.
That is The Summer House by James Patterson. Which is...
James Patterson's been getting a lot of love from me.
I know! Which is the book for the book club me and my mom are in. Excuse me, for next month. Gotta find the synopsis. Once a luxurious southern getaway on a rustic lake, then reduced to a dilapidated crash pad, the summer house is now the grisly scene of a nighttime mass murder.
Ooh.
Eyewitnesses point to 4 Army Rangers, known as the Night Ninjas, recently returned from Afghanistan. To ensure that justice is done, the Army sends Major Jeremiah Cook, a veteran and former NYPD cop, to investigate, but the Major and his elite team arrive in sweltering Georgia. Woo, 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 woo. With no... She's sweltering for sure, too. Let me tell you. Georgia, with no idea their grim jobs will be made exponentially more challenging by local law enforcement who resist the Army's intrusion and stonewall them at every turn. I didn't read the part that had the bad words. But yeah, we didn't realize it took place in Georgia, so that was cool.
That is
And yeah, she's for sure sweltering. I have never gotten this sweaty this quick before in my life. I used to work outside.
Yes.
Constantly. I swear I have never been this sweaty, this quick, and miserable in my life. Austin's like, I swear this humidity is the worst it has ever been. It's bad.
Well, I mean, it's kind of early, I feel like, for the humidity.
Well, tell it that. Go away, humidity. Why are you here yet? It's not August. Like, get out of here.
Although my mom did say that the year I was born, it was already 100 degrees before I was born. Like
Oh, that's
the end of May, because I was born June 4th.
Yeah.
So.
That's wild. That is wild. Yeah, we flew up to New Jersey recently to help Formula Drift, help somebody at Formula Drift.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, phew, a vacation from the humidity. Hopefully it's just like, come on, 8 degrees cooler up there. Like, come on. We got up there on a Thursday.
Yeah.
It almost felt as bad as Georgia.
Really?
It was so humid and so hot. It wasn't quite as bad as Georgia. It took longer for me to start sweating, but it felt pretty bad.
Oh man.
And I think it's because they had a storm coming.
Oh.
I don't know if you saw the funny video I shared on
Yes.
It was supposed to be funny, so it's okay that you laughed. We were at the track. We met the guy who wants us to come help, and we walked around, talked with him. We're like, okay, this is the plan. Blah blah blah. And we just sat and chatted at the food concession stand there at the track for a while. Sunny, sweltering day, and we were like, well, we have nothing else to do here, so we're gonna leave. And he went back to the hotel, and me and Austin went and got dinner. And while we were at the restaurant, since it was like a flip of a switch, it was dark outside, the wind started blowing, and apparently, an hour after we left the racetrack, a tornado hit the racetrack. Everybody was fine. And do you know how many tornadoes? Do you want to know how many tornadoes New Jersey averages a year?
How many?
2.
So you were 2.
2. That's crazy. And it was so funny.
Average, which means they don't always have.
Yeah. So I think at the time they were supposed to storm really bad later. And me and Austin kept looking around and we were like, are you sure? Are you sure? And then it showed up. And thankfully we weren't at the track. A tree landed on a car, one of the race cars. They fixed it, everything was fine. Nobody was in it, also. The wind, wrecked a bunch of tents, as you maybe have seen from the funny video.
It showed up and showed out.
Yeah, we were like, wow, that's crazy. You know how many Georgia averages?
A lot, I would assume.
A lot more than New Jersey, but 30-ish,
Oh, wow.
31, give or take.
I feel like Alabama probably has more than that. They
Maybe.
always have tornadoes.
We looked up Oklahoma.
I was gonna say Oklahoma.
They average 60 something.
Because I think it's called Tornado Alley.
Yeah. So I was like, that's wild that we were there for one of their potential. Then the next day though, felt fantastic. Great day. Didn't sweat at all. Walked around in the sun. Fantastic. I could have fell asleep in the sun. It was so nice. Had a nice cool breeze.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're like, they couldn't have had the bad weather before we did?
I was like, this is insane. Yep. So, anyway, Georgia is sweltering, and that was another book I had to haul, was The Summer House by James Patterson. And that's on my haul, I think.
Okay. So,
Pretty decent, I.
what did you finish?
What did I finish? I finished a couple things. I know I finished 2 things since we recorded. I feel like maybe I finished a 3rd thing, but I need to look. No, I finished 2 things. Okay. I finished The People Next Door.
Yeah.
By Keri Beevis. I think I read it on my Kindle. It was 5 stars from me. It was very good. I thought it was very good. I thought it was written pretty well. There's a lot of cursing. because I'm trying to pay more attention to that. I used to pay a good amount of attention to that so I could recommend books to you and anybody else who obviously doesn't want to read a bunch of cuss words. But I think I fell off that wagon a little bit. So, but for the actual story, it was very good. They move into this house that they get for a steal deal, and it's a husband and wife, and they meet the neighbors, the people next door, and they seem very friendly at first, and then some weird things start happening. What's going on in the cellar? Something's up with the cellar. The door to the cellar keeps being left open. Why is that happening? So weird things start to happen, and secrets come to light. It's very suspenseful. I really enjoyed it. There were some parts where I was like, this is really freaking me out. If I was in this position, I would be freaking out. Because it involves tunnels underground that you didn't previously know were there, that were connecting your house to someone else's house. And that thought really bugs me. Yeah. I feel like even if I had a tunnel from like this room to the animals, I still wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, in my head, somebody could be in the tunnel.
Yeah.
I know what you're thinking. Why didn't you lock it? Yeah, but it's the thought. it's the things that mess with your brain. So I can't see the tunnel. Somebody's in the tunnel. What if I'm in the tunnel? Somebody's in the house. You know, it just, I don't know what about it freaks me out so bad. But yeah, no thank you. I would board that stuff up so fast. So there's a lot of scary moments in the tunnel underneath the house. But my mom finished this book before me, and she was like, you need to read this book and tell me if you get the twist before it happens or whatever, or if you, whatever, just compare our theories and stuff. And I kept telling her where I was at, and she was like, okay, all right, yeah. There's a 3-legged dog.
Oh, poor dog.
So the main character girl, this is like spoilery, really, but she's driving somewhere, and the dog runs out in front of her.
Oh.
And she accidentally hits the dog, so she takes the dog to an emergency vet or whatever, and they fix the dog up, but then they have to amputate a leg, and she feels awful, because who wouldn't? And her husband knows she feels awful, and I mean, it wasn't her dog, but she left it at the vet. She's like, I don't know what else to do. They're like, it's okay, we'll find the owner, or we'll get it figured out. And she feels awful about it, and then her husband, like, gets home late one day, and she's like, what have you been doing? And he's like, here's your dog. And he went and, like, officially adopted the dog, because the vet found the owners. The owners were like, yeah, we don't want her. And I was like, okay.
Terrible dog owners.
Right. So anyway, that was just cute, I thought. So there's a 3-legged dog in the book. It's quirky. Dog's fine. Just saying. Just so you know.
I've done a couple 3-legged dogs.
That's cool. So yeah, it was a good book. The twist, though, didn't see it coming. I was dead set on it turning out a certain way, and I was shocked when it wasn't turning out that way. But I think I guessed. I can't tell you what I guessed, and I can't tell you if I'm right, because I can't tell you. I can't spoil it, guys. But I was pretty correct about most other things, except for that twist, obviously. So.
I wish everyone could see you holding this microphone.
Yeah. My microphone wouldn't stay on the table, so I'm just holding it in my lap, but it's not a handheld microphone, so it's very awkward. I could take it out of this, but I didn't feel like doing that. This is good enough. Right, I just don't want to do that. Or I guess I could hold it forever. That could be it. That could be how we do our podcast now. Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you, sister. So I finished that book. It was 5 stars. I really liked it. My mom started reading something else by the same author, and she was like, I think Keri has had some trauma in a tunnel. And I was like, oh, okay. Just like we were reading we read 2 books by Mary Kubica for the book club that we were both in.
Right.
The first one was Just the Nicest Couple, and then the second one was Local Woman Missing. I liked the second one a lot more. That's neither here nor there. But I was like, what's up with all the adultery? She was like, maybe she, got cheated on, and that's what she's got to write about. I said, well, you got to write about what you know. So, that's what Stephen King says. Write what you know. Anyway.
I've heard that.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling. The other book I finished was one of the most moving and emotional books I have ever read in a long time. And it was called The Bright Years by Sara Damoff. I give it 5 stars. It was absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. So it says, well, this only says it's 288 pages. I think when I downloaded it on Kindle, it said it averagely took people about 5.5 hours to read. I read it was like an hour. It was like, yeah, I guess that adds up. So all 5 of those hours, I was crying.
Really?
The entire time. The entire time. I read it mainly on a plane, and I was like, it's so quiet, trying not to draw attention to myself. I'm like sniffling. I sniffled the entire time. It was such a good book. And there's a lot of sadness in it, but there was also a lot of happiness, which is really what got me. Because it was just so emotional. There was a lot of I guess trigger warning, necessitating things.
Yeah.
Can't think of the word I wanted to say. So the author addresses a lot of different things, but what really got me was just all the sweetness and the happiness, I guess, and the simple lives of the families that were living together, or just a simple Saturday morning watching cartoons and stuff with their kids. And it was just so sweet.
Yeah.
It was just so sweet. I sent it to, I know I mentioned it to you, and I sent it to another one of my friends, and I was like, I'm just going to let you know now, this book is nonstop and making me cry, but it's so good. If you want to read something that's how it's the best thing ever that your children are growing up, but it's also the worst in every aspect. Right. Right. So she was like, oh, thank you, I might. She said, if I feel like crying soon, I'll look into that. Because it was really good. It was just very, very impactful. It was just really, really good. It was written really well. It was spaced out? It was laid out. The spacing was fine, I guess. It was laid out really well, too. It was like a generational story.
Mm-hmm.
So you start off with a boy named Ryan and his mom fleeing his abusive dad. And you go from there, and then Ryan's an adult. Ryan meets his wife. Then you follow the wife and their relationship and how happy they are and whatever, all the things in life. And all the ups and downs. And then at some point you follow their kids and stuff, and it's just, and then their kids. Yeah. And it was just really good. I really like that kind of story. It's been a really long time since I've even read that kind of story. So it was really good. And I don't know how many times I'm going to say it's really good. for it to get it. For it to be embedded in your head. I should. I'll put a number in the show notes.
The title of the episode should be, how many times did I say it's good?
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I finished. I finished it. When did we get back? We got back Saturday. I finished it. I actually finished it last night, before midnight. So it's good. I actually only read it because I'm going to go join Lexi at a book club.
Okay, and that's the book?
And that's their book. So assuming all goes well, I should be flying up to Raleigh for a book club. Just to hang out with
you have for this podcast.
I know. It's really just to hang out with Lexi at the same time, I guess. But the book was, yeah. I don't know. I don't think I would have liked the one they had just finished before this, though, because Lexi was telling me about it, and I think it was more like a rom-com kind of book, which, you know, of course, to each their own. A lot of people love rom-com books, and at a certain time and place, I would like one, I'm sure. But, you know, this one definitely made me cry, and I like to cry when I read books.
She likes to cry. She likes to cry, and she likes to be terrified.
It's true. I don't know what's wrong with me. I like all the feels. Those are what I finished. I'm currently reading. I'm not currently reading the last murder at the end of the world yet. Not yet. Because I'm still technically physically reading the Texas Murders, so I gotta finish that.
Yeah.
Then I plan on reading that one next by Stuart Turton, so that we can talk about it. I haven't read that though since we went out of town and have been back, so soon that'll be done. I think I'm maybe almost halfway. Very quick paced. So one of the people, they have a name for this kind of person, a character. One of the characters in the book is like a master archer. Oh. And I just was like, me too. I'm just kidding. But I wish.
I was some of my class in archery.
I wish I had so when I was in the high school I went to, they didn't have anything because the school was still pretty new. And so after I had graduated though, they have an archery club. And I was like, wow, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
I would have loved to do that. But anyway, so I just think it's cool. There's a master archer in the story. And it's neat. I'm sure there's going to be some part where she's kicking butt and taking names and shooting people with her bow. So I'm excited to get there. And then I started listening to, on Everand, Pretty Little Liars.
Okay.
By Sara Shepard. I loved the TV show.
Yeah.
The TV show was cliche. Loved it anyway, of course. These books are off the charts cliche.
Really?
It's so funny. And some of the stuff obviously was written a while ago. 2006. So some of the wordage is but some of the words are the way they say things and stuff, I'm like, wow, that's not. It's so funny though. I'm soaking it up. At first I didn't like the narrator. I actually have the first 3 or 4 books in the series, physically, so I really could just read them like that. After The Last Murder at the End of the World, of course. Yeah. But yes, I just found it on Every, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna listen to it. And it's crazy. I think I only have 2 hours left in the first book. And it's definitely laid out differently than the show. So far, only by a little bit. But I'm really enjoying it. I think it's kind of nostalgic because I really liked the show. So it's all I can picture everybody from the show. And it's a funny time. It's a funny time. So very goofy.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, those are what I'm actively reading. There's, of course, if you look at my story graph, there's a couple more in there that I'm not actively reading. I should just pause them because they have that feature. But I'm not.
Paused.
Red Rabbit?
Red Rabbit.
I know.
Well, I might actually finish that. So I finished The Last Murder at the End of the World.
Yeah.
Turton. So good.
Every time I think about it, I'm like, I've got to read The Texas Murder so I can get to that book. I want to read that book.
I didn't see the twist coming. I did have questions about some things. I don't think they really got answered, but that's okay. It's obviously a futuristic. It is a pandemic book.
I love. I don't.
So I think
feel like some
we
people
have
would
to suspend.
Yeah. suspend your belief a little
Yeah,
bit.
because a couple things were like, how could that happen? But it was good. I really, really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Really enjoyed it.
I'm.
It was very fast moving,
Yeah.
and at the end, she solved it 3 times, 3 different ways. And I don't want to spoil anything, but you'll know what I mean when you get to it.
I
Because she actually did. She thought she solved it, but didn't.
Oh.
So,
Me too when I read books.
Yeah. Well, they should name her Brooke.
I know.
It's a great name.
It is a great name, isn't it?
Then I listened to The Fall of the House of Usher.
Saw that on Storygraph.
Creepy.
Is it? I've not actually read that. I want to.
Edgar Allan Poe has always been one of my favorites, which I don't know what that says about me.
Well, here I am. I'm like, I love pandemic stories. Does that make me morbid? I love pandemic stories.
I thought I had read The Fall of the House of Usher before, but then when I was listening to it, I was like, maybe I didn't read it. But sometimes you read things so long apart from the next time you read them, you really don't remember anything about them.
Yeah.
I feel like I had read it before, but creepy. I don't know if I should say what it's about, but this guy goes to visit a friend that he had gone to school with or grew up with or something, and he has a mental disorder. Like he's crazy, for lack of a better word.
Cuckoo.
But it's genetic, like his father was, and he and his sister are the last two of the House Usher. Their last name, in case you're wondering, or that's their title.
Right.
That might be their title. Anyway, the sister is also a little
not
crazy,
all there.
but she's not as bad as her brother. But like she looks like she's wasting away to nothing. She ends up dying, and they bury her.
So, no, continue.
That's all I'm gonna say. It had a very harsh ending.
Did it? How long was it?
I
know it's not a
52
long.
minutes.
Okay. I might. This is gonna be. Never mind. This question. I read. What's it called? I read a book. It was like a retelling of The Fall of the House of Usher. I can't think of what it's called right now. Should be in my Instagram posts. But it sounds very similar to the book I read. Yeah. Which obviously there's going to be some differences because it's like a retelling or whatever.
Right.
And so there's going to be a lot of similarities as well. That's the sequel. Oh, What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. And it involved a lot of fungi.
Oh.
I don't know if I'm getting the term correct. But like spores and stuff. Okay. So cuckoos.
Yes. So how long was that book? Was it short?
It was pretty short. It what do I want to do? What about the Kindle? It was pretty short. I don't even think it took me that like a couple days to read it. What's it called again? What moves the dead? And there was a sequel that I read, which is called What Feast at Night, and there's actually a third one coming out.
Oh.
Which I don't remember what the sequel was about. If I'm being honest with you. I remember I listened to both of them on Everand, and they were good. I only really remember what happened in the first one. I don't really remember what happened in the second one very much. So I don't really know what they're gonna do in the third one. So it says, yeah, it's only 163 pages. Okay. So that's very, very quick. I think maybe they lengthened it if you compare it to the original story. So I did like it though, and I did find it creepy in a lot of ways. Yeah. So that's exciting. Maybe I'll read that at some point.
Then I read another book that was creepy. The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman.
I did see that on your Storygraph. I read that in high school.
Did you?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Really?
Never heard of it.
Boogie.
And I was listening to it and I was like, this woman's a lunatic. Yeah. And I knew that immediately, I could tell. Yeah. And her husband is either like locking her up for everyone
scary. It's like a creepy, scary story. Are you done with it? You finished
Yeah,
it?
I finished it.
Oh, okay. And I don't remember if it's actually the husband is just evil. Like,
I thought that at one point.
tries to doctor her, but like she in the wrong kind of ways.
I didn't get that from the book.
I can't
had
remember.
initially thought that maybe he was making her crazy, so he could run off with someone else, but I don't think that was it.
Okay, yeah.
I think she was crazy.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
The way she was talking made it sound like she was eating the wallpaper. She was peeling the wallpaper off because she swore that there were people living in the wallpaper, like behind the wallpaper.
How long was that one? That's not very long either.
40 minutes.
Yeah.
She was crazy. It was really creepy.
Yeah.
It was creepy.
I can't believe you've never heard of it.
Never.
That is.
And it's a classic.
Yeah.
Fiction.
That's the main reason I can't believe you've never heard of it.
I know.
That's wild.
Going through my classic phase.
Yeah.
Which leads me to what I'm currently reading, which is Dracula.
Dracula.
And I can't believe I've never read the story.
I've never read it as well.
It's actually very good. I am annoyed that it feels like Bram was just trying to add pages.
Oh, like made it too long longer than it needed to
be.
be.
Yeah, because don't start. I'm in chapter 21 of 30.
Okay.
I have 3 hours and 31 minutes left.
Okay.
Okay. We all know it's about a vampire. We all kind of know the story of Dracula.
Yeah.
I've never seen the movie either, though.
I don't think I have either.
So for anyone who hasn't seen the movie or read the book, I don't want to give too much away, but obviously people die. About vampires. One girl has already died, and now her best friend is being. You know how Dracula can like communicate with your mind? He can
persuade
you. Yeah. Before he even like has a connection through your blood. So he's controlling her somehow, but no one is figuring it out. I'm like, guys, come on! And they're trying to. Actually, the one girl didn't actually die; she was turned into a vampire because they tried to save her. And also, I'm mad at Dr. Van Helsing about the whole situation because he knew what was happening, and he should have known better than to leave her unguarded the 2 different times she was left unguarded.
Yeah.
Because if he hadn't left her unguarded, she'd be alive and fine.
Yeah. I say yeah, like I've read the book. I'm here with you, Becky.
He was fixing her. He was fixing her. Anyway.
So, there's a lot of vampires in it, or is it just
no? So, really, there's only 4 that are mentioned, and I don't know if we're gonna circle back around to these other 3 girls. So, Jonathan Parker is the first person who is talking in the book about what he's doing, and he's a lawyer, and he's traveling to Transylvania to meet with Count Dracula because the Count wants to move to London. In case anyone's wondering, it's because there's way more people to eat there. Jonathan doesn't know that.
Work smarter, not harder.
He becomes a prisoner of the Count and doesn't realize he's a prisoner at first, and then he finally figures out, this guy, I ain't getting out of here. So he gets himself out of there. And actually, for a time, I thought Crazy Renfield was Jonathan. I thought he had lost his mind and ended up in an insane asylum. But no. Don't worry, guys. He's not crazy. But while he's there, the Count says, you can go anywhere in the castle unless it's locked. You have free reign of the castle. And so one night, he forces this door open, and he goes in there, and he falls asleep on the couch, and he wakes up, there's 3 beautiful women in the room, and they're all talking about basically killing him. I don't remember the wording that was being used, but they wanted to each, suck his blood, of course. And Dracula comes in, and he has told the girls that they can't have him. And so instead, he gives them what is probably a child in a bag.
Oh.
And they leave with this bag. And then I don't know if I can't remember if it's the same scene or if it's a different time. There's a lady who's crying at the door, give me my son, which I don't know if you knew this or not. Dracula can turn into a wolf,
Huh.
and he can control the wolves, and he can also turn into a bat.
Fascinating. I mean, I assumed the bat. Didn't know the wolf thing though.
It was unexpected.
Does that make him a werewolf?
I don't think so. Well, unless he's like the original werewolf, and somewhere along the line, someone was like, let's
change
separate
this
the
up.
two.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if we are going to circle back around to these three women. Right now, they've got to kill the first girl who was a victim, which everyone who is in the group that's trying to kill her actually have all loved her. They've grown up with her. 3 different men wanted to marry her. One of them is her fiance. Dr. Van Helsing got to know her before she died and really liked her. So it's like really going to be hard on them to kill her, but they have to remind themselves it's not really her anymore. She's a creature now that's sucking the blood of children.
Can't have that.
No, can't have that. And also they're going to try to kill Dracula. And I don't know what's going to happen to the second girl who's under his control. That's where I say, like, it's getting too much. Like, you're doing too much, because you could just be focusing on.
Could have left out like 2.
Yeah.
2 of them.
Yeah, but now, I don't know. I've got 9 chapters left, so 9.5. We'll see what happens, but it's very good. The writing style is old.
Right.
But I've been enjoying listening to the man who's reading it. He has a very good voice. He's British, of course, so it makes it sound better. It's really good. I'm enjoying it.
That's good. I've thought about just off and on, maybe randomly picking up something like Dracula, like near October or something spooky. And my dad was like, "You've never read Dracula?" And I'm like, "I don't tend to like classics very much. I like some." Like, "You've never read Dracula?" The man's never read Dracula.
I was about to say, he's never read it either.
Keep it in mind, I don't think he has ever read Dracula.
Has he seen Dracula?
Probably, I think so, yes. I'm like, maybe one day I'll read Dracula. So I had a funny thought. Shark Week.
Oh boy.
Starts July 20th. I'm going to read Jaws for Shark Week.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to probably order a physical copy. I've never read Jaws.
I've never read it either.
So,
but I have seen the movie.
I've seen the movie. I rode the ride in Universal. No, Universal?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't been to Universal since.
Universal.
So
I'm like, yes, that's Universal.
That's correct. But I've never read it. I hear it's a pretty good book. So
I mean, the movie's good.
I want to read it.
But I don't know how it differs from the book.
Right. So yeah, I think to celebrate Shark Week, I'm gonna read Jaws.
Very nice. I hope you like it.
Me too. Yeah, and I want to read The Last Murder at the End of the World by Stuart Turton pretty darn soon. Then probably, I guess, the second book in Pretty Little Liars, which I don't know what it's called. I'll put it in the show notes though. So, because the first book is Pretty Little Liars, and then the next few all are like, one's called Flawless, one's called like Unbelievable or something like that. I don't know. So yeah. And then obviously we'll be starting to read What You Are Looking For Is in the Library. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah, because you're just doing audio right now. Yep, I will probably, I don't know how much it is on Kindle. I might listen to it though. I do enjoy listening to translated Japanese fiction as well. So, yeah, that's me. That's me, and hi, I'm Brooke. That's me. That's where I'm at.
That's all I have.
That's it.
I think we did good today.
Yeah,
we had a lot of books to talk about.
Yeah, a lot of different books too. I love that too. I think we have similar reading tastes, and I think we can both sort of conform to each other's taste sometimes. It depends, like, on what we want to read.
Yeah.
But I also think we read a good variety most of the time,
Yeah.
between the two of us at least.
I think so.
So I like it when people can read different books. I like that you don't stick with one thing and I don't stick with one thing.
I like that too, and I think it's good for the people listening because they're not okay. All they read is fantasy, or all they read is science fiction, or whatever.
And like all that's fun, but
Yeah.
like there's more than
Right.
just thrillers. You know,
Yeah.
there's more than just fantasy. There's
Yeah.
more than just sci-fi.
So I think it's cool, and I think it gives like other options for people. I mean, the whole point of listening to a book podcast, I think, is to get ideas for something to read.
Yeah.
So
I watch booktube videos, and I'm like, and I haven't in a while because I'm like, I've got my plate full right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, then I'll go back, and I'm like, okay, I get great ideas.
Right. Well, cool. I thought we did good today.
Yay.
So, thank you as always for listening. It's wonderful to know that there are so many kindred spirits in the world. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for buying my book.
Yes.
I hope that whoever's reading it is enjoying it, even with the flaws that are in it. I really appreciate you guys. We do have merchandise. If you're interested, just let us know. Maybe one day we'll actually have a store that you can purchase from.
Right.
And keep looking because videos are going to be coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really excited about that. I think we're both really excited about that.
Yeah.
And so until next time, stay happily booked.